Welcome r/EntitledParents. You can't propose here, and most certainly not to that thing. As per usual, I'm on mobile and English is not my first language. Cast. You guessed it, Little Shitston BF, my guardian angel BW, bartender Og, other guests me, I have the high ground. As I have told in my previous posts, I'm a femboy, which means that I'm a man that acts more feminine, and in most occasions, wear women's clothing and such. For those who don't know what it meant, I also told how my BF and I love to have date nights and such. This time we decided to go on a vacation. We took a small cruise. All this is relevant for later. My BF and I drove from our apartment early morning, since we live quite some time from the harbor, where we were going to sail from. It takes about 3 to 4 hours to drive. I'm totally not a morning person, but my BF was completely gone that morning from work, so I decided to drive, so he could sleep some more. We got there about 30 minutes before departure, so we parked the car and went out to smoke. I was ready to drop. I was that exhausted, since I work as well, and was so excited about our trip that I didn't get much sleep that night. But we finished our cigarettes and got our bags and walked over to the check-in. Enter the witch and her little shitstin. Move over. My son and I need to check in right now. We moved over since it wasn't our first encounter with an M. She finished checking in her son and herself, so we got back to the counter and finished up as well, all the while we talked with the woman behind the counter about EPs. We got aboard and went looking for our cabin. It had a nice double bed, big TV on the wall, a nice view, etc. We packed out our luggage and settled in. We turned on the TV and watched Smokey and the Bandit while waiting for the announcement that we were departing. When it came, we went up to the adult zone, one of the upper deck next to the bar, and who do we see? Yup, Em and Ek. Ek can't have been older than 9, and this zone was only allowed for people 18 and older. I'm 19 turning 20, and BF is 23. We stood there remaking our own Jack and Rose from Titanic. M comes over. You shouldn't act like that here. My son is here watching the two of you. But you did well, kid, having a cute GF like that. A nice dress BTW. I was wearing something like the lace-up tartan asymmetrical dress, since I like the punkish style. We just thanked her and went back inside to rest a bit. In the evening we had a reservation at the more finer restaurant on board. We got there, and since we had a reservation we could skip the humongous line. Some people didn't like it but stayed quiet, but not her. Why do they get to skip the line while the rest of us has to stay behind? Let me trade with you. My son is very hungry. I got tired of meeting her everywhere, but hey, it's a ship surrounded by water. We can't avoid her for long. We got our table, still hearing M yelling at the workers. We ordered some wine and food. We ordered some fine food that I can't even spell the name of. My BF told me that he had something to ask me. He took his chair and pushed it out so he could stand. Eyed the waiter that came over with a little black box. I knew what was happening and started getting tears in my eyes. I had been waiting for some time for this to happen. He got on one knee and asked, "Will you up make me the happiest man on earth?" He barely finished the sentence when I said yes. No time to think, I just did it. I can't think of a life without him. Everyone started clapping and I gave him a long kiss. The M finally got through the line and saw us kissing. Can't you kiss your GF somewhere else? My son is with me. BF, first of all, I just proposed and kissed to make it official. Second, that is not my GF. That's my BF. You could see all color disappear from her face. How could you do that with children present? You faggots should not do something like that at all. Blah, blah, blah. While she kept yelling I noticed that something smelled like shit and I couldn't see the little bastard anywhere until I looked down and there he was, trying to pull down my skirt to irritate or something. I quickly grabbed his hands and yanked him away from me. Remember how I said it smelled like shit? Well, it really hit the fan. How to re-out ouch my baby. Like that. Yes. I don't think she breathed at all during that sentence. And here we go. I will sue you for this, you faggot. and stop wearing girls' clothing. It is not okay to walk like that. And all the usual homophobic stuff. My BF was furious. He normally never lays a hand on anyone, but had I not seen it and stopped him, he would have slapped her into the next century. The woman saw what he was about to do and acted like he actually did it, with the employees and the OG looking at her. She got escorted out, and we got our meal on the house. After resting in our cabin, we set out to find the bar. We heard there was live music and good drinks, so we had to try it. We found it after wandering around for a while. We entered, ordered some beer and sat down. We drank quite a bit and decided to dance as fiancés. And who brought the storm during my walls? Stu up the music. It got quiet. Don't start the music until these two faggots leave. She starts to sound like that typical homophobic priest while pointing at us all angry. The OGs looks at us and start debating what kind of bitch she was. Enter BW. BW, miss, I have to ask you to leave the bar. Why do we have to leave while these two get to stay? BW, first of all, you brought a kid that most certainly is not 18Y/0 or older. Second, we do not tolerate homophobic abuse. And last, you're just a nasty person. You could almost hear her jaw drop to the floor as she looked for a response. She ended up leaving. Music started playing again, and we gave an extra big tip before leaving to our cabin for some cozy time. The rest of our vacation went pretty much without meeting her and her devil spawn again. We are getting married in August. Enjoyable as they can be to read later, I'm still hoping bigots go extinct. I thought at one point they finally made it to the endangered list, especially when my son came home very confused. Some brat had said he was gay, my son's confusion, but I'm not, and he said it like it was a bad thing and it's not. To get to 11 without finding one is an improvement, just not enough of one. Mind you, one teacher complained about it being inappropriate that our boys kissed each other goodbye. They were 5 and 3 brothers. She never did answer why, which I asked fairly loudly as my husband is hard of hearing. Honestly, it wasn't so the other parents could hear me asking why brothers shouldn't kiss each other goodbye or hug apparently. As a born and raised Christian man, I can say that if the God I believe in hates gays, he never told me about it. To the op here, I want to wish the best of luck in your future marriage and hope you have a wonderful life full of love and joy. For me, I find homophobic people, especially the ones who call themselves Christian, absolutely disgusting and ignorant. I can't tell you how pissed off I was when I witnessed an angry customer calling my former manager the derogatory F word for homosexual, because I nearly wanted to smack that person and yeet them out of the store. I was brought up to be kind to all people, and my religion taught the same, and as Jesus himself said, let those without sin cast the first stone. Pretty sure Susan here wouldn't be able to toss any with that logic. You wanna hear the science on how the big gay exists? I'm not homophobic, gay myself, but there is a scientific reason for it. There tends to be a higher amount of homosexual animals in areas where they are overpopulated. Have a nice day. Hope you have a lovely wedding. I really don't get homophobic people. It's not like if there's a gay guy around you then you're gonna die or something. This really pisses me off because you won't see a gay couple shout at a straight person for being straight. I honestly don't understand why people get so upset about gay people. First, it's not your business. Second, they are just trying to live their lives. Third, it's not hurting you or anyone else. The woman in this story sounds straight up crazy on top of being homophobic. Was she trying to get others on the boat to sympathize with her or agree with her? What was she trying to accomplish? I hope you and your fiancé have many years of happiness together and you never have to deal with this kind of foolishness again. Hey, I feel so good for you. I'm 12 by the way, but I can't wish you and husband the best of life together. I'm young, but I hate when people abuse gay/lesbian people. I have some gay people in my family, and I love them more than anything. The way I think of it, lesbian/gay people believe that they can be gay freely and express that, and I hope you can in the future. I hope you and your husband never meet that kind of person again, and hope once again that you and your husband remain happy through life and death. P.S. I'm a boy and I'm not gay, but support people who are. I came out as bi a while ago, and this legit made my heart melt. Not in a good way though. How can someone be so homophobic? Like seriously though, you wear girl clothes, yeah okay cool, but that you wear girl clothes, God will smite you. BTW in the adult area, you legit cold been naked, and she couldn't have done a thing about it, and I would laughed if she complained, because my precious angel can't see you two like that. Sadly most Karens are like that. I mostly wear women's clothing, since I prefer it, and all the time people who find out that I'm male mostly shuns me. But her precious shits weren't even allowed on that deck in the first place.